Hey everybody, welcome to another stream. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to go over with you guys today. I did promise, I guess, that there would be an evening stream, evening on the East Coast anyway, and indeed here it is. So there's going to be a lot of different things to go through. I have a bunch of videos that I want to play for you. I want to look at some of the latest polling. We are going to see what's going on. By the way, we will talk about what's going on with protests, and protests continue, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. I also, there's just so much. I'm trying to get Hassan Piker to connect with me, and we can. I just haven't talked to him in so long, so I want to do like a catch up with him. He's streaming and I'm streaming, and that's an opportunity maybe for a little bit later down the line in the stream. And also, I may take phone calls if we get 25 members. I'll definitely do it. I'm going to play the Jimmy from Philly videos for everybody. I mentioned these last stream and he gave me the okay to play them. So there's like a crazy amount of stuff that we are going to be doing today. And I look forward to all of it. Of course, I welcome your participation. That includes if you are watching on YouTube via Super Chat, if you're watching on Twitch with the messages that can be sent along with subscriptions. Now, by the way, where are my Super Chats? Are there, but I don't have them here. Where was that? Let's see here. Why aren't they showing up in this view? That's weird. Could have sworn that I had them good, ready to go. Well, in any case, the Super Chats certainly will be showing up, and it's going to be an amazing thing. Zachary Monroe sent one, says if you were to create your own stream platform to avoid getting copyright strikes, you should call it Pac-Man Live. Love the show. Stay safe, everyone. Okay, yeah, that's I guess, reasonable name, but I don't have any plans right now of creating any platforms for myself. I also, people are asking, will I connect with Destiny? I don't believe Destiny is streaming right now. Let's see. Hey, are you streaming? Maybe we connect later. We'll see what Stephen, Kenneth, Destiny, Benel II is up to. And then I would do a simul stream with Pokimane even. That would be fine. We follow each other, as many of you know. Yeah, a lot of, we'll see what the evening brings. There could be a lot. Matty Ice PVD is asking, what is Matty Ice PVD saying? Matty Ice PVD asking, hey, David, did you watch the Markey Kennedy debate last night? Joe Kennedy's a joke, right? I feel like I was watching an episode of Parks and Rec. I didn't see it. And I don't, I mean, I will try to watch it probably over the weekend, to be perfectly frank, because I don't know that I'm going to have time, honestly, before the weekend. So that's that. Okay, let's get to some of the videos that I wanted to play for you guys. This is a representative of NYPD. I mean, it was just a crazy speech that he gave earlier today. Let's take a listen to it.
Everybody's trying to shame us. The legislators. The press.
Oh my God.
Everybody's trying to shame us into being embarrassed.
Oh my fucking God.
Well, you know what? This isn't stained. It's still got a shine on it.
Right.
Stop treating us like animals and thugs. Start treating us with some respect.
This guy isn't a protester, by the way. This is a police officer.
It's disgusting. Trying to make us embarrassed of our profession. Don't resist! Don't resist! Don't resist! Don't resist, bro!
Oh my God.
And that's all I have to say.
A defiant speech from someone who has no business giving such a speech and seems to be completely disconnected from reality. So I wanted to play that for you. There's also crazy Tucker Carlson videos from the last couple of days. And it's like, how much do I really need to go into Tucker Carlson? I don't know, but let's at least watch one of these.
You have nothing to be ashamed of. You don't have to apologize for crimes you did not commit. You have the absolute right to say exactly what you believe is true. That is your birthright. Now is the time to affirm that right out loud. When enough decent people rise from their knees and stand down the mob evaporates. These people are not warriors, they are vampires. They melt in the light. When we show them we are not afraid, they go.
Whoa, I don't know why it got me.
Last night, minutes after we said that, the mob came for us. Irony of ironies.
He's the victim.
They spent the last 24 hours trying to force this show off the air for good. They won't succeed in that, thankfully. We work for one of the last brave companies in America, and they're not intimidated. We're grateful for that.
Right.
But the whole thing did get us thinking that we should be more specific about who this mob is and what they're doing. Who are the people trying to take over your country, cancel your rights, eliminate our centuries-long tradition of tolerance, yes, tolerance, and of free expression? And the truth is, we often don't know their names. They're mostly faceless political agitators who exist primarily online. They're trolls who thrive on cruelty. And yet suddenly they have immense power over all of us. Weak leaders now reflexively bow to their demands, no matter what those demands are. Why is that? What's changed?
Yeah, but by the way, I'm not a defund the police guy, but what's he talking about? Weak leaders bow to their demands. The defund the police thing has now been going for 10 days, and Democrats essentially said, yeah, we're not doing that. Here's a list of reforms we're willing to do. And Biden said, I'm not for it either. Like, we can argue about the merits of it, but in what way are leaders bowing down to so-called left-wing mobs? It's absolutely crazy. And then one other video that I wanted to play for you is Ben Shapiro talking about sports. Let me see if I can find this. This is just so bizarre. Where was it? Ben Shapiro on sports. This was recent. Oh, here it is. Okay. Take a listen to this and see if anything sounds a little suspicious about it to you.
Now, Clay, it does make me wonder whether inevitably we're going to end up with basically two sports leagues. Whether at some point people are just going to want a sports league that does not allow this sort of stuff to impede the play or get on the field. And people are just going to view that, because I got to say, like, I've been fairly tolerant of this stuff in terms of watching sports my entire life. There are only a couple of times where I've really turned off the TV. One was, when it came to Sports Illustrated, I was a lifelong subscriber to Sports Illustrated. My parents gave it to me for my bar mitzvah. I had Sports Illustrated subscription for like another 10, 12 years. I used to keep the old issues in a box. I mean, that's how much I enjoyed it. And then when they decided, it's important for us to feature Caitlyn Jenner on the cover, when Bruce Jenner had not been an actual athlete for 3 decades. And all of a sudden I'm reading about transgenderism in Sports Illustrated. I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore, because this has nothing to do with sports. And I subscribe to a sports magazine. I'm not doing this anymore. And the other is during the Kaepernick protest, when it became incumbent on people to somehow approve of the hands up, don't shoot symbology that was being put out by particular players. I'm tempted to do the same with the NBA now that you have LeBron James, who was willing to basically virtue signal on behalf of the communist Chinese government, but rip Drew Brees. It's getting to the point where I don't want to watch sports. My place of comfort has been removed from me, and it may not be restored until there are actual sports leagues that remove politics from the sports.
So a couple different things here, right? Number one, I don't know why I have a hard time believing that Ben Shapiro is really into sports, but it's like, okay, I don't want to focus on that, but something about, I just am not seeing it, if you guys understand what I'm saying, but let's skip that for now because it's not really the most relevant thing. Isn't this the way these free marketeers want things to work, in the sense that they don't need to be constrained, athletes don't need to be constrained and hampered by sports leagues into stuff like you can't talk about sports or whatever. We have a market where he and everybody else can choose. Do you want to watch sports when you might be subjected to a political view that you don't like, or don't you? And there's no coercion. The athletes are not forced to say things or prevented from saying, like, these, listen to me. I'm a libertarian now. I sound like these libertarian clowns. I'm for the non-aggression principle, and I don't want anybody acting out of coercive acts, right? The employer doesn't have to coerce the athlete to talk about politics, and they don't have to coerce the athlete not to talk about politics. The athlete can choose. to talk about politics or not to talk about politics. The viewer, Ben Shapiro, sports fan, right, can choose to watch sports despite disagreeing with the political views of the athletes or agreeing or not knowing or whatever, and nobody's coerced in any way. He doesn't have to buy a ticket. Nobody has to. Like, isn't this what they want? If you want to go to watch, if you like Green Day's music and you show up and you hear Billy Joe Armstrong saying, screw George W. Bush, as they used to say, screw Donald Trump, and you don't like that, you vote with your dollars. This is what these libertarian, and by I don't mean capital, it could be capital L or lowercase l, it could be random capitalization like Trump does, or we could be properly capitalizing or not the L. You just don't buy a Green Day ticket anymore. If you don't like Bruce Springsteen's political rants between songs, then you just don't go. If he doesn't like sports where there are politics, he can just choose not to watch. And you know what? If the free market decides, if too many people are sick of LeBron James's politics that they tune out, then LeBron James' employer will have to make a decision about this is a liability or it's not. We don't renew his contract. Or LeBron James will have to decide, ooh, I'm losing endorsements. My Twitter followers are going, whatever. This entire keep the sport. Why does he decide that sports is a place where politics is verboten? It's nonsense. It's absolute and total nonsense. Joe Rader says via Super Chat, amazing new footage from SpaceX. Oh, that I want to see. Let me look at that. It looks like it's actually a SpaceX account, so I think it's relatively safe to click on. Let's take a look at what we've got. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is amazing. Okay, very, very. Let me look at that one more time. This is the Starlink fairing deploy sequence. Okay, it looks like it went well. I can't totally tell what we're looking at, but it looks like it went very, very well. Javi Rodriguez says, does it seem pretty certain at this point that Biden will do better than Clinton? I saw an analysis said if Biden converts 1% of Trump voters with same turnout as 2016, he wins 307 electoral votes. Yes, that's my analysis. No, I made a similar analysis, but yeah, Trump can't afford to lose much. We'll actually do that. We'll do that in a second. I have the electoral map, and I do want to do this with you guys momentarily. If you're just joining, we have a big night planned. We are going to be looking at 2020 maps. Actually, first, I even want to look at 2020 polling because Trump has been so heavily triggered by the fact that he's losing just like everything. So we'll look at the polling first, and then we'll look at the 2020 map. We are keeping an eye on any number of different protests that are going on, although there's two things going on. I believe that the protests are going to start slowing down because the media attention is starting to diminish, and this is how these things go. We still have a pandemic. Media talked about it a lot less over the last week, and people are less concerned, even though it's still going on. But we're big crowd in New York City, peaceful. Smaller crowd in Dallas, peaceful. The Seattle crowd in the top right is noticeably smaller than the ones we saw earlier this week. We're watching Washington, D.C., Smithtown, New York, Dallas, and Austin, Texas. We seem to have a frozen stream in the bottom center from New York City. And then a different angle in Seattle, also a smaller crowd. And that is, okay, we're going to follow it, but there's, it's overwhelmingly peaceful and not really problematic. Oh, interesting. Someone in Dallas looking at apparently some sod that was brought in and just getting more of a landscaping stream, really, just getting a sense of they did it the expensive way. You just bring the grass in pre-grown, which is something certainly we've all considered in darker moments. We did have some primaries today in Georgia in particular. The voting was an absolute mess. Actually, I think I might be able to find. Let me see if I can find my own Twitter page because I did tweet a video. Let's look at that. Oh, yeah. Check this out in terms of today.
What is going on in Georgia? I mean, we know what's going on in the United States.
But what's going on really in Georgia, these people, I can't believe that the United States of America, and we were military. So it's not like I'm talking about something I don't know about. Also, I walk with Dr. King. This is ridiculous. In the United States of America, this time, people can't vote. People are killing each other. I can't get along. I don't have to like you, but I respect you as a human being. What is going on? And now we get here. People have been, look at these people. We've been waiting.
People waiting hours and hours to vote. Of course, major voter suppression happening in Florida with a whole bunch of different polling places shut down. And it's absolutely and completely sick what is going on there. And so we're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're going to talk about Trump going after this Martin Gugino, the 75-year-old guy who was bleeding out of his ear after Buffalo police knocked him down a few days ago. We will be talking about that tomorrow. Trump spreading conspiracy theories and a lot of different things. So then in a little bit, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the raw video from my garden where I did pick a strawberry, and I filmed a bunch of video, which we're going to turn into a funny thing about me eating my one strawberry, which is all that my plant has produced. And I'll just give you this is a still from it. Okay. So just understand how much this is going to be wild. It's extremely, extremely alpha behavior, eating a single strawberry with a fork and knife. So you're going to like that, I assure you. And then later in the Twitch only portion of tonight's stream, I am going to play videos of furious Trumpist Jimmy from Philly for you. You will be able to see what Jimmy looks like. And I have to tell you, he looks exactly the way that I imagined that he looked. So that's going to be a little bit later on the stream. I have not heard back from Hassan Piker, but I have heard back from Stephen Kenneth Destiny Bennell II, and he is willing to join me on stream today. And I haven't spoken to him in a long time, so I think we'll do that a little bit later as well. And, I think it's going to be titillating for a lot of people. And I will open the phone lines wide open if we get to 25 members today. Membership is quick. It's easy. It feels good. And it confirms that you are a good person. It's the number one way our program is funded. It pays the salaries. It keeps the lights on. Of course, very, very low wattage LED bulbs, perfectly cruelty-free lighting in here. But you can sign up at joinpacman.com. Coupon code right up there in blue text 2020 now saves you 66%. Everybody gets a thank you. So for example, Andrew Casanidi has just signed up. Andrew is new member number 1. So you, boop, right there. Whoop, did you see that? And what I can tell you is Andrew Casanidi is a fantastic person. And we will indeed open the phone lines at the 25 member mark. So very, very exciting stuff. Let me read a couple of other super chats, and then I'm going to get to the latest polls, which Trump is very triggered by. Andrew Dwyer says, just saw Romanoff debate Hickenlooper. Great debater. I wish more progressive debates like he just did. On the attack often, but stuck to substance. Very good. Matt Chavez says, protester arrests. Why aren't Miranda rights read? I don't know. I didn't know that wasn't happening. I will look into that. Greg Watts says, I can't wait for Biden to destroy Trump in the debates. Do you think Trump will even bother to show up? Listen, I don't know that the outcome of the debates is a foregone conclusion, but I don't know that we're going to have debates this time around. We will see. Christian Gaffield sends a super chat. James Buccino says, David, I hate politics right now and want to give up following it altogether. Do you have any words of inspiration? Yes. Abandoning politics is not a neutral act. Abandoning politics, you are still participating either way. I prefer to participate by actively having a say rather than letting other people decide. Why? Because I think, I'm not going to put a number to it. Biden said 10 to 15% of the country is not good people. He probably underestimated, but I think I know better than the average person. I do. And of course, you ask people, do you think you're in the 50% best half of drivers or 50% worst half of drivers? Something like 80% of people believe they're in the top half of driving skill. Mathematically impossible, right? I get it. But I want to be participating in the decision. I don't want to leave it to others for sure. Joseph Jepson says, hey, David, one reason I became a member was to hear your Richard Spencer interview in full. I really enjoyed the conversation. Any plans to interview others with controversial or dissenting opinions? Yeah, sure. I think so. I'm always up for that. Let me show people just a funny meme that was done from my interview with Richard Spencer. I think that you will like this one. Let me see. Oh, yeah, here it is. Let me show you. Now, by the way, if you're listening in headphones, this does get a little bit loud. So I just want to warn you guys, this you may want to turn down your speakers or because there is a moment where this gets very, very loud. If people haven't seen this, you might enjoy it.
Will you denounce Adolf Hitler? I heard you don't denounce Adolf Hitler when asked about that.
National Socialism was a disaster. The 20th century was pretty much a disaster.
Yeah, but do you denounce the actions of Adolf Hitler?
I'm not going to play this game.
Oh, it's not a
where you
game.
Throw out historical figures and I denounce them. I mean, do you denounce Stalin? Do you denounce Pol Pot? I mean, look.
Yeah.
That is just one of my favorites. I have no clue where that came from, but I love that. Like, I just love that. It's so well done. And we've never spoken again, of course, Richard and I, since that day. And that's okay with me. That's okay with me. I really don't, I really don't mind that. Okay. So that's that. We got that out of the way. Other super chats that are, a lot of things are happening at once, but let me not get ahead of myself. I want to thank some people watching on Twitch. Peace Forward has subscribed. PP Eat Trekker. PP Eat at Trekker has subscribed with Prime. Reggie Nerd has subscribed, as has Gitch, Dinosaur Cal, and Ben Ledwell, as well as Duffman. So appreciate those Twitch subscriptions. Want to say thank you to Aaron Carmack, who's new member number 2 today. Akeem Hughes, who's new member number 3, and Carl Smith. That name I feel comfortable I'm pronouncing correctly. And lastly, Nick Sanchez, who is new member number 5 today at joinpacman.com. Okay. Austin says, what do I think about Governor Charlie Baker in general, and what do I think about his response to COVID-19? Okay, so we have a Republican governor here in Massachusetts, Charlie Baker. As far as, wait a second. I skipped some and I apologize. I'm going to get back to those. I think Charlie Baker is okay as far as Republican governors go. He's not the most offensive guy. He's way better than a lot of the people around the country. But he is still sort of a guy who sees everything. He's a former healthcare CEO. That's his perspective. His response to coronavirus was okay. It was in the best 50% of coronavirus responses, but he was still kind of slow, mixed messages, confusing messages in some cases. So he's been okay. I skipped a couple of super chats and I didn't mean to do that. Sam Dean says, "G'day, Dave. Super safe solidarity marches in Melbourne, Australia the other day. No trouble at all. It can be done. No need for all the violence, mate." Agreed. Joe Grover, the effing game cat, says, "I'm in California. How does my vote make a difference?" That's the wrong attitude. Every vote, if everybody who asked that question stayed home, it would make a huge difference. And thus that's the wrong approach to have. Jared Aguiar says, with everything going on, do we need more Destiny? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Destiny. I haven't spoken to him for a very, very long time. And we'll see. James Montalbano says, think about how stupid the average person is and realize half of them are stupider than that. Very well said by George Carlin. James Buccino says, it feels like I'm always on the losing side of politics, and whether I follow or not, things won't change the way I want, and I'm tired of fighting. James, I understand that. I believe we will be energized with the removal of Trump, and it will really set us up to do a lot more. A lot more. Okay, and then I got the Austin question. Robert Ian signed up, and Aaron Coolidge Beard says, Joseph Goebbels would be impressed with Kayleigh McEnany's ability to spin. Very much well said. Okay, let's get to the polling. This is why Donald Trump is so triggered. It's particularly this right here. This CNN poll has Joe Biden up by 14 over Donald Trump. Now, let me be very real with you. I don't believe if Joe Biden wins, he will win the popular vote by 14. And I don't even know that he will win by 7. But we could be going to a historic electoral college defeat for Donald Trump if we all get out there and vote. Regardless, Donald Trump was so triggered by this poll that he hired some polling dude, McLaughlin, to write a letter, hilariously poorly written, claiming to debunk this poll with all false talking points. But it's not just this poll. Then the Hill Harris X put out a poll that has Joe Biden up by 10 nationally. Now, what's really important here is that Joe Biden is regularly getting over 50 in a lot of these polls. In fact, let's look at the national polls. Okay, so as you can see here, just since the start of June, you've got Biden 52, Biden 53, Biden 50, Biden 55. Now, we're still very far out, so it would be normal at this point, although it's crazy to me. How could anyone be undecided? It is historically normal. I don't find it normal, but it's historically expected that you still have a lot of undecided. So a challenger getting over 50 regularly 5 months out is really important. Now, I want to be clear. People are emailing me saying, David, you're going to cry when Trump wins in November. You're going to be so shocked. No, these are just the numbers right now. We need to act as if every single state could be won by Trump, whether you're voting in California or Utah. By the way, Utah's closer than it's been in a long time. You need to act as if Trump could win your state and you need to vote. And by the way, I've said before, Trump has been very good for my show. Financially, Trump getting reelected is better for me than Joe Biden winning. That's the reality. But that's not what I'm voting for, and that's not what's good for the country, and that's not good, what's good for the world. So if Trump wins, I'll do better, but I would still be horrified. So it's not, I'm going to cry, I'm going to be shocked. These are very strong numbers for Joe Biden 5 months out. The economy could start to improve, or Trump could argue that it's improving, and he could end up winning, or whatever, okay? We've all got to go out and vote. Now, why is it that this is likely to come down only to a few states? So let's take a look at this. I'm going to set this map. Hold on a second. What is this map? This is 2020. Oh, is this set to what are we looking at here? I wanted to set this to 2016, and there's normally, let's see, oh, here we go. Oh, beautiful. Okay, 2016 actual. This is the actual 2016 results. As you can see, Donald Trump had 306 electoral votes, and Hillary Clinton had 232. Let's start with the big prizes, Ohio and Florida. Donald Trump, if he really wants to be in this, needs Ohio and Florida. Why do I say that? Okay, if Donald Trump loses both of these, it's over. So consider that there were a bunch of states that Trump won in 2016 could be blue states: Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa sometimes could go blue. North Carolina could go blue. Forget about all that. Trump keeps all of that. If he only loses Ohio and Florida, it's over, because that puts Biden over 270. Okay? Now, let's go to a more conservative scenario. Let's assume Trump keeps Florida but loses Ohio. Okay, so this is 2016. Trump loses Ohio. Okay? That puts him at 288. Look at now how precarious the situation is based on these key 4 states: Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. If Trump doesn't win Ohio, if Biden gets Pennsylvania, it's over. Okay, so understand, these are all states, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Michigan, that Democrats often win. Biden doesn't need any of them. If Trump can't hold Ohio, Biden only needs to add Pennsylvania. It's quite possible that in Michigan, all 4 of the electoral votes would end up going to Joe Biden. Let's not even mess with that. Let's just pretend. Hold on. How do I do this? 2 and 2. Wait. 1 and 1. Whoops, that's Nebraska. What am I doing? Let's reset that map. I'm sorry. Okay. So again, if Trump loses Ohio, only Pennsylvania puts Joe Biden over. Or imagine that Trump keeps Pennsylvania Any two of these others, Arizona and Wisconsin, or Arizona and Michigan, or Wisconsin and Michigan, all of these scenarios put Joe Biden over the edge. Now, let's go again, even more conservative. Imagine that Trump keeps Ohio and Florida. Biden still can win just by taking some of these states. Trump can keep Ohio and Florida. If Biden can win Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Wisconsin, he wins. If Biden can take Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania, he wins. If he doesn't get Pennsylvania, he can still do it. Oh no, it would be a tie. That's the tie scenario with Arizona, Wisconsin, and Michigan. So my point to you is there's all of these possibilities people are throwing out. What if Utah goes for Biden, if Mitt Romney endorses Biden, or, North Carolina is in play? It's conceivable that Biden would win North Carolina. If any of that stuff happens, this will be part of a blue wave so big that Biden will rocket to a historic victory. I don't think that that's likely. I'm not even thinking about that. What I'm thinking about is Trump can't afford to lose almost anything. We already went through, if he loses Ohio and Florida, it's over. If he loses just one plus Pennsylvania, it's over. If he keeps both, it could still be over with 2 or 3 of these other 4 states. This is the math, folks. This is data. But we've all got to get out and vote. None of these states should be taken for granted. And, we could look at some individual polling, like just for kicks. How is Ohio looking right now? Okay, so polling is mixed. Trump won by, look at that. Trump won by 8 in Ohio in 2016. Right now, Biden is winning by 1. So it's not even guaranteed that Trump is going to hold these states. I hope that kind of gives you a sense of why the math is so precarious here for Donald J. Trump. Okay. Some Twitch people to thank. J.R. Dubs has subscribed. Thanks, Joey Jepson, as well as Pack3HTK. I don't know exactly how that would be pronounced. On my website, I want to say thanks to James Dunn, who is new member number 6 today. Reminder, the phones will open tonight, if and when we get to 25 website members. I think that will be very exciting, very, very exciting. Other super chats continue to come in. Let's see here. Joe Grover, the effing game cat, says, I'm definitely voting. I'm just wondering how it makes a difference in the process in California, not meaning to sound negative. No, I mean, listen, in a literal sense, Biden's going to win California, right? Unless everyone who thinks what Joe is thinking decides to stay home. That's the danger of that type of thinking. My vote won't be the difference maker. What difference does it make? Well, if we all think that way, we all stay home and then Trump wins, which is why we can't do it. Utkarsh Vivek says, you think campaign donations will make a difference? Well, I mean, listen, the candidate who raises more money tends to win. So in that's an empirical sense in which, yes, campaign donations make a difference. Breaker asks, is there any chance Cuomo will run? Nah, he said he's not running. Biden's the nominee. Rad Rye has subscribed at the soy boy level. The proletariat says, to ensure being apolitical, should police vote? Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's wading into murky territory. And Baron Steuben says, greetings from Virginia. Thanks for the stream. Okay. Let's get to a couple of other things. As some of you know, I have an urban garden out back. And two of the elements of gardening that I've been growing are strawberries and mint. Now, mint is very, very invasive, and it's everywhere. I contained it within one pot because it so spreads. My strawberry plant so far has generated 1 strawberry, and I picked it yesterday. We are turning this into a funny video. It's going to be all edited together, and I don't want to show you all of the clips that will be part of it, but just to give you a sense of what we're dealing with here is just a little bit of what you can expect as part of my big Hollywood production of where I ate a single strawberry that I grew. Take a look at this.
Supple,
spicier than I expected. Very good. Really, really good. Let's try one more piece. You have to get the right amount of mint on each bite, really. Yep. That is something. Kind of a flat area where it was up against the soil. Hard to beat. Really hard to beat. There it is. So that is going to be turned into a big production. We actually have Noah working on it, who works with us. Noah is turning that into something absolutely fantastic. So stand by for that. That is upcoming, and I think you're really, really going to like the results. Okay, next. Wait, hold on a second. No, okay. Everything's okay. I thought something just happened. Let me just check in and see. Okay, I think I will still be talking to Stephen Kenneth Destiny Bennell the second or the third, a little bit later, but not quite yet. Okay, that's still upcoming. Okay, I am going to be playing something for you a little bit later, and this is going to be during the Twitch portion of the stream. There's this guy who started calling into my show a while ago who goes by the name Jimmy from Philly. This guy is a furious Trumpist, and we mix it up. He's in landscaping. He's a landscaping professional. And I am going to play a clip for you here. This was one of the earlier times that Jimmy called into my show. Now, you're going to hear his voice. Later, you will see his face because he sent me some videos. All right? Take a listen to this. Been a while since we heard from furious Trumpist Jimmy from Philly. I know some people in the audience love hearing from Jimmy from Philly. Some people in the audience have said, David, please no more Jimmy from Philly. We don't want to hear it at all. Right. We have heard from Jimmy from Philly, and he is furious at soy boy sycophants and continues to seem to misunderstand how some online social platforms work. Take a listen to this.
David, Jimmy from Philly.
Right.
Yeah, I just got banned on Facebook because one of your little soy boy sycophants, Rich Lewis, reported me to Facebook.
Right.
What a fucking joke. Trump 2020. Because you again.
Listen, we don't even have... Okay, that is Jimmy from Philly. I have video of Jimmy from Philly. I am going to play it for you later today. You are not going to believe these videos from Jimmy from Philly, okay? You are not going to want to miss it because it is absolutely stunning what these videos contain. And that's going to be coming up a little bit later, okay? So stay with me because we will get to that just a little bit later. Okay, a few other super chats are coming in. Let's see. Daniel Tesfaye says Trump only won Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin by 0.5% popular vote in 2016. I didn't know that it was so close in all of them. I do believe one of those states was only 0.1%. Haru Bakur says Kia ora and well wishes from a COVID-19 free Aotearoa, New Zealand. Yes, congratulations, New Zealand making major strides in eliminating coronavirus. Beezus C. Christ says two different conversations, police brutality and the lack of empathy for dark-skinned people by lighter-skinned people. Darker skin equals less empathy. There are some studies that point that way, indeed. Madeline Welsh sends a super chat. Ken Clive says Iron Chef Pac-Man. Yeah, I think people are really going to like the single strawberry video. I think it's going to make... We've been looking at doing a video like that very strongly, and it is now in production. I see people saying they are calling in right now and that the phone lines are going to voicemail. Yes, the phone lines are not open yet. I will open the phone lines today if we get to 25 members. Now, let me be completely frank with you. Whether or not we are dangling the phone opening in front of people, folks should be banging down the door of joinpacman.com to grab a membership because it's so quick and easy and it feels so good and you get so many great things with it and it's how you support our program. Fill it up. We have quadrupled the power of the David Pakman Show website. It should not crash anymore. when people go to joinpacman.com. But in all seriousness, we joke around about membership stuff and all of that. All of these other platforms we're on, as revenue sources, they are so unpredictable. And the great thing about membership is, with the exception of, March, April, and May, because of the virus, we just slowly but steadily grow the number of members. And it's our most stable and most important source of revenue. So all joking aside, we love to, have a good time. I do appreciate people signing up at joinpacman.com. It's $2 a month if you use that code 2020 now. And again, I promise, I will open the phone lines the moment we get to 20, or shortly after, depending on whether I'm in the middle of something, after we get to those 25 new members. Okay. Beezus Christ says, even within ethnic groups, darker-skinned people are viewed less favorably. That's colorism, yes. Jews and other nomadic people used to be darker-skinned. Legacy of hatred? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. There are still darker-skinned Jews now. Typically, they are Sephardic or Mizrahim, as we call them. But I'm not exactly sure where you're going with that. I want to say thanks to Ernie Sanchez, who is new member number 7 today at joinpacman.com. And then let me see here. Let me see if we can get Destiny. Destiny. Well, I know that there's some people in my audience who are furious with Destiny and some people like Destiny. I just haven't talked to him for a long time. And I want to see where he is on a lot of different issues. And he said he would do it, but let's see, when was that? 8:58. Oh, all right. Okay, that was 40 minutes ago, and I told him about 45. So let's see what he says. I do want to get Destiny on. And it's not about, people like or dislike him. It's just about what is going on with Steven. So maybe we will hear back. I was interested in getting Hassan Destiny Piker II on, but he has just been ignoring me today. He seems too busy, I guess, from what people said. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. CM Wells says, seizing the means of production one berry at a time. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a brand new strawberry plant that I have, and some people told me that the first year I should just pinch off all of the flowers and not even let strawberries develop because they would be so few in number. I'm just letting it rip. I'm doing the Anthony Fauci let it rip, and we'll just see what I get from it. And I got one strawberry, and that's not bad. Okay, let me see here. A lot of things are happening on Discord and in other places. Hiroshi loves you. Oh, thanks to Marcus Arnold for signing up. Hiroshi loves you says, David, have you seen those ingenious Trump impressions by comedian Sarah Cooper? She lets me understand Trump's incoherent ramblings for the first time. Sarah would make a great guest on your show. I love them. I absolutely love them. She's fantastic. Let's actually pull one of those up because they are so good. Let's see here. Sarah Cooper. I've been following her for a while. If you've not seen these are so good.
Whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it
does a number.
Does a tremendous number in the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
She's just so good. These are just so perfect. Let's look at another one. Here's the lobster.
Are they the
one.
same lobster?
Actually, the lobster one I like less. Let me get to one of the really good ones. The lobster again. Used car commercial. Oh, the bunker.
And I was there for a tiny, little short period of time, and it was much more for an inspection. There was no problem during the day. And I've gone down 2 or 3 times, all for inspection. And you go there, someday you may need it, but you go there, and I went down I looked at it. It was during the day. It was not a problem.
Sometimes the Secret Service even tells the president, I can't do this. So you tell me, Mr. President, they didn't say to you, you have to go downstairs. My responsibility is your welfare. They didn't limit you at all in the House?
Nope, they didn't tell me that at all. But they said it would be a good time to go down, take a look, because maybe sometime you're going to need it. And I've been down, let's see, that would be number 2.5, sort of, because I've done different things, but 2.5. But I looked, I was down for a very, very short period of time, very, very short period of time during.
These are just very good. Let's look at one more. Let me see which other one comes up next. I sometimes will watch these on repeat. Oh, the Bible. This is one of the best ones.
I'm wondering what one or two of your most favored Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal, so I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into.
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite?
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible, the whole Bible is an incredible, I joke very much so. They always hold up the Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time. But I just think the Bible is just something very special.
I'm wondering.
She's really good. She's really, really good. And those are really excellent. She's really just, I mean, there's something about it that it works perfectly. Okay, let me say a few other thank yous. Oh, it looks like people are demanding the phone lines be opened. Jacob Fry is new member number 8. Alex Cohen is new member number 9. Jack Hurley is new member number 10. Jeanette Howley is number 11 today. Eric Saindon is number 12. Utkarsh Vivek is number 13. We also have Scott Martin, who's new member number 14, and Corey McGinty. Corey, you are number 15 today. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, other super chats coming in. Beezus says, I'm talking about all Jews used to be darker skinned before the Ashkenazi fled to Europe 5,000 years ago. The nomadic Hebrew people did not look like you. How could any of my Jewish ancestors not look like me? How could you? How dare you? Beezus says sexual selection / environment. Anthropology, David. No, I refuse to believe that. All of my ancestors looked exactly like me. I'm kidding, of course. All right. Here's what we're going to do next. I've got the Jimmy from Philly video. We are now going to pinch off all streams other than Twitch, and I'm going to play the Jimmy from Philly videos for you. If you have been wondering what Jimmy from Philly looks like, please come join us on Twitch at twitch.tv/David Pakman. What he says in these videos is so outrageous that it has to be on Twitch because I think I'd get banned everywhere else. I would just get the ban hammer dropped, okay? So the stream isn't ending. It's only shifting to Twitch, twitch.tv/David Pakman. Come join me. We will open the phone lines hopefully soon. Maybe we will talk to Destiny, but I will play the Jimmy from Philly videos momentarily. Okay, I'll see you over there in just